And then there were four. On this episode of This Week in the NPSL, we will tell you which four teams captured their regional championship and a spot in the national semifinals. In the Bay Area, CD Aguiluchos hosted Orange County FC for the West Region Crown, where one goal would prove to be the difference in the match. In Motown, Detroit City FC and AFC Ann Arbor battled in a back-and-forth affair that wasn't decided until the closing seconds of the match. While in the South, another nail-biter also was decided by a single score as Midland Odessa and Inter Nashville FC squared off in West Texas. Plus, the lone remaining team from last year's postseason is in action as Clarkstown SC Eagles look to clinch their second straight semifinals appearance. We have all of the playoff action, plus our all-new trivia contest, next on This Week in the NPSL. Hello everyone, and welcome to our final in-studio appearance before we head out on the road for the semifinals and finals here on This Week in the NPSL. I'm Paul Boron, and we're going to start in the Midwest, where last weekend 4 teams were in the Motor City looking to beat one of 4 teams playing this weekend. And we start with the first semifinal, AFC Ann Arbor taking on Dayton Dynamo. And it was all AFC Ann Arbor, although the scoreboard wouldn't reflect it. Alec Lazinski, receiving the great through ball, tries to chip it past goalkeeper Ryan Hewlings, but the Dynamo keeper makes the nice save to keep it scoreless. Later, Caleb Jackson, a shot deflects off a defender, and it goes over the crossbar. Then Jackson tries to slot it past Hewlings' near post. Hewlings makes the great save, and then the Dynamo recover defensively to keep it scoreless. Hewlings another point-blank save against Jackson, and AFC Ann Arbor starting to wonder whether they can find the back of the net. Jake Rufy, great footwork in the box, finds Yuri Farkas, but Farkas pushes it just wide. So we go all the way to stoppage time, still scoreless. AFC Ann Arbor's James Vaughn scoring off the free kick in stoppage time, and the final is 1-0. Other semifinal had Detroit City facing Duluth FC, just shy of 7,000 on hand for the match, 18th minute. And Detroit City gets the first goal of the match. Tyrone Mondi, receiving a through ball from Sean Lawson, takes it himself from 30 yards, slots it past the keeper far post. Duluth FC answers 7 minutes later on a goal by Kyle Farrar as he receives a cross on his head and puts it into the upper 90. 2 minutes later, they go on top. Ben Phillips sneaking the ball past Fernando Pena from inside the 6. It's 2-1 Duluth. But it's all Detroit City from there. 32nd minute, Troy Watson crossing it to Cyrus Sadie. His shot is saved by the Duluth keeper Tom Greensall, but Mondi is there to finish on the rebound. 3 minutes after that, Mondi takes the corner, finds Dave Edwardson's head in the box, and then how about a hat trick just before halftime? Tyrone Mondi scoring near side on a ball bobbled along the Duluth defensive line. Fernando Pena locks it down from that point as he makes 2 great saves in a row. In the 69th minute, a little insurance for Detroit City. Omar Sinclair scoring off a free kick just outside the 18. 5-2 is the final. Detroit City moves on to face AFC Ann Arbor. And the two squaring off Saturday night for the Midwest Championship. And it's more of Mondi. 35th minute. Here he's assisting on the corner kick. Finds the head of Zach Brock. And Jordan Tyler taps it in. Stoppage time of the first half. Omar Sinclair curling in a free kick. And that makes it 2-0, and it stays that way till the 75th minute when Tendai Jarira slips one past Pena, and then 6 minutes later they pull even as Alec Lasinski slots it far post past Pena. So we go all the way into stoppage time, and magic for Detroit City. Tyler Moorman sends it into the box. The ball goes off an AFC Ann Arbor player, and goes to Bakey Goodman, flicks it on to Tyrone Mondi, who puts it into the back end of the net in the 94th minute. Wild celebrations for Detroit City as they win the Midwest Crown. So Detroit City FC sends their fans home happy on Friday and Saturday night, and because they did, they advanced to the semifinals for the first time in their 8-year history, and now get to play in front of their fans one more time this weekend as they capture the Midwest Region Crown and are the number 2 seed, which means one of the semifinals will go through Motown. Now, who will face Detroit City FC in that semifinal? That depended on who came out on top in the West and South regions. We will have highlights from both, starting in West Texas as Midland Odessa hosted the South Final against those Road Warriors from Nashville. That is next on This Week in the NPSL.
Keep up to date on NPSL with scores, schedules, stats, and exclusive content on NPSL.com. Visit NPSL.com to browse our dedicated ticket platform, read up on NPSL Spotlight, and view the latest episode of This Week in the NPSL.
We head to the South now, where higher seeds from Wichita and Miami and New Orleans were all dispensed of along the way by Inter-Nashville FC and Midland Odessa FC. And now those two met on a toasty night in Texas as a spot in the national semifinals was on the line. Tight defensive battle between these two. Nashville keeper Hayden Kaufman in the 18th minute with a nice save. A minute later, it's Nashville with an opportunity. Felix Obilo with his shot tipped over the bar by goalie Raulio Linares Ortiz, and we're still scoreless. Then another opportunity 7 minutes later, but Nashville hits the post. 32nd minute, scary moment for Midland Odessa as Linares Ortiz takes a tough hit. It's significant because he's the only keeper on the roster, but he's able to continue. And that would prove to be important for Midland Odessa. Linares Ortiz, another save, this off a free kick. Then in the 53rd minute, off of the corner kick, another denial by the Midland Odessa keeper. Go all the way to the 72nd minute, and substitute Zach Penner gets the goal, assisted by Ricardo Palomino. It's 1-0 Midland Odessa. And from there, Linares Ortiz locks it down in the 76th minute, making yet another save, and Midland Odessa gets the clean sheet, a 1-0 winner in the South Regional Championship. So Zach Penner comes off the bench, and for the second straight match in this postseason, he scores the deciding second half goal as Midland Odessa captures the South Region Championship and will be the 3 seed in the semifinals, which means they are on their way to Detroit for their matchup on Saturday night. When we return, we go west, where CD Aguiluchos hosted Orange County FC for their regional title. Highlights from a tightly contested match where one goal was enough to send one team on to the Final Four. So who got the game winner? That answer is ahead.
MITRE is the official ball supplier of the National Premier Soccer League. Visit www.mitre-usa.com for more information. That's www.mitre-usa.com.
Paul Boron back with you on This Week in the NPSL, and we're going to head to the Bay Area for a battle of California, a battle for the West Region title, and a battle for a spot in the national semifinals. Orange County FC was the highest scoring team in all of the NPSL this season, while CD Aguiluchos has played plenty of tight matches all year. So which way would Saturday's match go? Let's go to San Leandro for the story. The two teams getting set to do battle at Burrow Field on a beautiful summer evening in San Leandro. Both teams had chances early. Patrick Ayani, header off of an Orange County free kick, goes just wide in the 7th minute. Moments later, Ross Middlemiss finds space in the box for Aguiluchos, but his shot bangs off the crossbar. His teammate, two-time NPSL Golden Boot winner Simon Ronsley, collects a rebound, finds the back of the net in the 10th minute, but the flag is up for offside and the goal is waved off. Jump ahead to the 37th minute. It's Middlemiss getting a loose ball for a left-footed strike that just goes wide. Meanwhile, Aguiluchos keeper Kevin Gonzalez doing his part to keep Orange County off the board as he shuts down this attack in the 45th minute, and we're scoreless at the break. Second half action now, and it's OCFC keeper Hugo Gomez holding off the Aguiluchos attack in the 49th minute. Then midfielder Ahmad Hatifi, who plays for the Afghanistan national team, is just wide from distance in the 57th minute. Still scoreless in the 67th minute when Benji Ruiz sends the ball into the penalty area. There's a battle in front of the net, and it's Middlemiss who cleans it up from point-blank range. The 2013 NPSL Player of the Year gives Aguiluchos a 1-0 lead. Orange County gets a great opportunity off a quick restart in the 72nd, but Gonzalez makes the save of the game to keep Aguiluchos out in front. Another chance for Orange County to equalize in the 85th minute, but the free kick by Jose Montes de Oca skims the post. Aguiluchos looking to put the game away in the 88th minute. Gomez cuts off the cross, and the home team can't capitalize, but they're able to hold off Orange County's attack until full time. The 1-0 victory means Aguiluchos will represent the West Region in the NPSL semifinals. So CD Aguiluchos wins the West title for the second time in the last 3 years with their 1-0 win and will be the number 4 seed this weekend, which means they will be headed to the Northeast looking to win at least one more postseason match than they did in 2015 when they were knocked out of the national semifinals by New York Cosmos B. Now in the Northeast, Clarkstown SC Eagles were in the national semifinals a year ago and look to keep their postseason run going this year. How would they do against one of the stingiest squads in the league? That story is next.
SoccerStub is the official ticket provider of the NPSL and powers the league ticket platform. Support live local soccer by visiting tickets.npsl.com to find tickets to NPSL matches near you directly from NPSL teams.
In 2016, the Clarkstown SC Eagles reached the national semifinal before losing to eventual champion AFC Cleveland 3-2. 1 year later, the Eagles were on the verge of going back to the semifinals, but they would have to win on the road against an Elm City Express squad that gave up 5 goals all season and already had 2 clean sheets in the postseason. And gasp, they gave up a goal, but they still came away with a home win on Saturday 3-1, getting a 19th minute score from Shaquille Sanchez, then the goal by Christian Hernandez that proved to be the game winner as they capture the Northeast Region title. And now they will host Saturday night as the top overall seed and face CD Aguiluchos, quite the achievement for the Express, who only came into existence this year. And now they are just 2 wins away from a national championship. Well, switching gears, it's time for This Week in the NPSL to go interactive as we present a trivia contest for each of the last 3 episodes of the season. And here is what you're playing for. This great NPSL prize pack. In fact, I may keep these goodies for myself. In all seriousness, here are this week's 5 questions. Think you know the answers? We'll use this link to enter the contest. Be sure to enter your shirt size as well. If you get all of the questions right, your name could be drawn to get the prize and be our first winner. And we will give you the answers to this week's questions next week and have a new round of questions as well. And we will also answer the question, who is playing for the national championship? Taking one last look at the brackets, both semifinals take place Saturday night with Elm City hosting CD Aguiluchos at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, while Detroit City FC and Midland Odessa FC will kick off a half hour later. We will be taking the show on the road to New Haven, Connecticut for reaction from the first semifinal. Plus, we'll also have complete coverage of the other semifinal and get you set for our national final. And a reminder to get all of the latest info on Twitter at NPSL Soccer and at pboron88. And check out NPSL.com for all of the postseason awards. Friday, we will release the regional best 11. And Tuesday, it's the national best 11. So farewell, studio. Hello, Connecticut, as we're down to the Final 4. And we will have all of the highlights and interviews next week. But for now, Paul Boron thanking you once again for joining us on This Week in the NPSL.